Check off on the general meeting for August 4th. 20, or I believe 2024 already. Somebody didn't update this very well. I'll talk to that person after the meeting. And as always, the first thing we do is a pledge of allegiance. There's a flag behind this there. I am. Of the United States of America. To which you stand, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I believe we got some new. Yeah. I think we have some new members and some new guests. Let's say hello. How you doing? Your name is
Charlie Terry.
Charlie Terry. Charlie. Well, welcome to our group.
Thank you.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, welcome. Another one back there. I can't quite see.
Get up.
Standing.
All right, okay. Well, welcome to the Charlotte County Computer Group. Yay. Which is a real important thing because we need more members.
And volunteers.
So yes, oh yeah,
Volunteer.
a volunteer, excellent.
We need to find out what his education is. He's going to show us up.
Oh, excellent. I like you showing up. So Stan, what particular specialty you have?
I was in the software business for 35 years. Started in 1975, about 6 years before the first PC was invented. So I worked at that time on IBM mainframes.
Not a computer, this.
32, 34, 36, 38, 400. I've managed PC networks, PCs themselves, hardware, software. That's it.
Oh, fantastic. Love to have you. Thank you aboard. We could definitely use your technical expertise. Yeah, you're back in the way back. So the rest of us who started out with IBM punch cards and went from there. All right, just a reminder, this is our last month that we're going to be in our shortened hours. It's just Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 to 2. So Mondays and Fridays, we're still taking off for the summer. But we're planning on at this time to go back to our full 5-day-a-week schedule, hopefully September 1st. Oh, and we're here for the Q&A. September 1st, the first Monday in September is Labor Day, so there will be no meeting.
There'll be one on Tuesday though.
No, I don't think so.
10 to 2 in August.
Oh, no, but that's our office hours.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just our office hours. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, our office is open too. And as always, thanks, Dan. We need. I'm gonna kill this thing.
You keep beating.
Thanks, Dan. We could really use you as a volunteer. So we'll try to hook you up and you could be one of us. And we also need other volunteers. There's always something to be done in the group. There's little odds and ends things that we do that most people don't see during the day-to-day for the office, that sort of thing. If you want to be considered, I'll be talking about that later, about being a board member or running for office. That's going to be coming up real soon. But if you have some time, you want to give a little bit of time, we certainly would appreciate it. Which brings up a topic for next year's elections, believe it or not, according to our bylaws, we have to have a nominating committee chair designated. Usually by the next meeting in September. We're not having a meeting, but it should be done by the 1st of September. Rosemary Sexton, you were the chairman of the nominating committee one year, which did a fantastic job.
Jane was last
Jane
year.
was last year. So we'll be looking for a volunteer to take on that responsibility. I just thought I'd cover some of the things just to let you know what the nominating committee chair does. Okay, the chairperson establishes a nominating committee and basically tried to pick up a couple other people to give them a help with the duties. What they do is they prepare the slate of nominees for the board. And each nominee will get a copy of the bylaw so they know what they're getting into right up front. The slate of nominees will be submitted to the newsletter for inclusion in the November bites. At the general meeting in November, the nominating committee chair basically opens up the floor to anybody else who would like to join the board and be considered on the ballot. At the actual meeting itself in December, it's kind of a two-part meeting. The first part is you come in and you vote for who you'd like to have run the group for the next year. And right after that, we have our Christmas holiday party. So it's kind of a fun time. And the nice thing is in here, it's indoors, so it's nice and warm. Used to have it over the Military Heritage Museum, and sometimes it could get a little chilly out there. The other thing, so the chair of the nominating committee supervises the vote, and after the vote's been taken, they tally up the votes, and as soon as possible, they announce the vote to the membership right after they get them all counted, and then they basically forward the votes and the tally sheets over to the secretary. So that's it. And basically don't feel like you're gonna be all alone out there as a nominating committee chair. We'll get you as much help as we can possibly give you. It's the process. Rosemary actually worked on a procedure that kind of outlines the process, and it really kind of helps out. Could you add anything else to that, Rosemary?
No, just, I hope someone comes forward.
Yeah.
Help you do the election.
And the thing is that basically, if you want to run for office, you can't be the committee chair. It's kind of a conflict of interest there. So we really needed somebody that'll be the committee chair. They can actually get help from people who are running. That's not a problem. It's just the chair really should be somebody who's not on the ballot. So if you're so inclined, we'd really appreciate some help in getting this done. And we'll get you all the help you could possibly need to get this accomplished.
How many members do we have
How many board?
at the club?
Oh, hang on a second.
We have about 375.
No, I think we're just under 300 right now, which brings up a good point. We're probably at the lowest level in membership that I can recall since I've been a member of 3 years or almost 4 years. So if you know anybody who might be interested in joining our group, be a part of Cccgc, let them know, come in and sit, for a single membership, $35 a year, I think is a bargain for anybody who needs a little help with their computer or whatever. And now that we have Stan, we can actually do some neat stuff. So yeah, I still think it's a bargain for $35 a year. That if you have an issue with your PC or laptop, you can bring it in and we can try to help you with it. No guarantees we can get it done, but we'll certainly give it a try.
36.25.
Only online.
Oh, $36.25. Yeah, that's only if you use a credit card. Okay, the presentation today, put out a little while ago, we're coming up on the end of, Windows 10. Its support is gonna be dying here in October. So I thought we'd just go through and how many people are on Windows 10 right now? Can you raise your hands? Yeah, pretty significant group. How many on 11? Oh, that's good. I'm glad. I mean, Windows 11, adoption has been relatively slow. And Microsoft certainly would like to see it go a lot faster. They'd love to see everybody convert over to 11, but they put the hardware restrictions on there to make it really tough. In a lot of cases, if you have some older hardware. So anyway, we'll talk about this. Hang on a second. Let me swap over to the other presentation.
The end of life. We're getting there too. Shopping list. Who's that? So don't catch hell. Take it. You look like he had a ring. You got this text? Text. Okay. Looking. Oh, you and I looking. You need to bring. Like, fall up a street.
Okay, Windows 10, the end of the Windows 10. It's been a long time coming. Windows 10 has been around for a long time. What we discussed today is just talk about the end of Windows 10. What does that mean? When we run up to the October 14th, 2025 date. What possible upgrade and migration pathways? Typically, we're talking moving to Windows 11 from Windows 10 if possible. I just want to mention, there's a couple other alternative operating systems. If you're so inclined to want to learn about a little different operating system. I think there's some real advantages there. If you want to move to something else that maybe a little bit of a learning curve, but in the long run might be worth it. And the last thing I want to talk about, and it's a big topic right now, is the extended security update, the ESU program. If you're on Windows 10 right now, this is something you definitely want to look at. So what happens with Windows 10 when we get to October 14th? Well, what it is it's just the end of support. In other words, Windows 10 is no longer as an operating system going to be updated directly as part of the operating system. So what that means is you won't have any more updates in the features that they usually add to Windows as they go. The operating system itself, the security patches that are in the operating system are not going to be updated also. And they'll cease at that time. What that does is it could cause some issues down the road for you. Initially, it's going to work just as it did, October 15th is going to roll around. It's going to work just like it did on October 14th. You're not going to see any difference at all. It's just going to work just fine. Of course, my guess is Microsoft is probably going to bombard you with, well, it's a good time to upgrade to Windows 11 by buying a new Windows 11 PC with Copilot or something like that. You might see a lot of that here pretty soon. So I must keep hitting the button.
These things goes back on.
Yeah. So like I said, if you don't do anything, the only thing is you're eventually hackers love to take advantage of security holes that they can find in Windows. Well, if Windows is not being patched anymore during an update, eventually they're going to find their way in and cause some problems. So you may end up with some malware that normally would have been blocked by Microsoft coming in. I think the interesting thing about this, Windows Defender, which is the malware and antivirus that comes with Windows 10, actually is going to be updated. So it's going to stay current all the way through 2028. So the Windows Defender system that we all rely on at this time actually is going to continue to operate and be updated, which is interesting. So it's not as bad as you kind of think it is. So, you know, if I was somebody that was worried about what would happen the day after the 14th, I don't think it's going to be a real big deal for a while. And the issue is down the road, you can open yourself up to possible vulnerabilities, and software compatibility down the road could be an issue because they're not updating the operating system anymore. So there are some programs that might not function with Windows 10. In other words, they update their program to work with Windows 11, let's say. It may not be backwards compatible to your version of Windows 10. The obvious Microsoft upgrade path for you would be to Windows 11, and that's it. You can do it. Yeah, it's just maybe the batteries are dying.
What an excuse.
There you go. I'll use that for an excuse. My batteries are dying. Anyway, so as we all know at this point, I've been putting it out. Windows 11 has certain hardware requirements. Specifically, it's got to be a certain on the CPU compatibility list. The Trusted Platform Module TPM has to be revision 2.0 or above. It has to have a certain amount of RAM, and also on the video card, it has to be a certain capacity, and a certain amount of storage has to be there. But if you go to Windows Update on Windows 10, it's pretty obvious, because if you have a machine that is on Windows 10 and it actually meets the requirements, it'll tell you, and it'll suggest you upgrade to Windows 11. There'll be a suggestion there that you should update to Windows 11, but it may not be compatible. So you're not going to give you a word there. You can do a compatibility check. It's actually on a Microsoft website. It's called a health check to find out what the specific issue is. But to be honest with you, it probably really doesn't matter. If it doesn't pop up and says you can update, the odds are that particular. I go with battery. Yeah, the odds are that particular machine is probably not going to be compatible with updating to Windows 11. Especially the TPM is a piece of architecture on the board there. The Trusted Platform Module is probably the biggest hangup I can see for not being able to go from Windows 10 to 11. There are programs where you can bypass all those requirements. The problem is it works great. I've actually done a couple of machines that weren't compatible that bypass all the requirements, but there could be a time where Microsoft says, well, it's not compatible. We're not going to provide you with the updates anymore, or they could just make it stop altogether. So that's kind of a risk you run if you upgrade a machine that's not 100% compatible. Like I said, the upgrade process itself, if you do have a Windows 10 machine that is capable of running Windows 11, the migration, the upgrade is very smooth. I've never heard of anybody having issues with actually doing the update from Windows 10 to 11, if the machine is capable. It goes really pretty well. So it's like I said, if you go to Windows Update and it'll tell you whether it's compatible, and if you want to update it, you just click on it. It takes about, depends on how fast your machine is, but it's like an hour or so and you're done. The thing is, if you decide you want to go backwards, there's a time limit. I believe it's 30 days that they'll actually allow you to back out the Windows 11 to Windows 10. After I believe it's the 30-day limit is up, you're done. You're going to be on Windows 11. Alternative operating systems. Alternative operating systems, I think, depending on what your comfort level is, if you want to learn a new system, it's not as bad as you think it is. Linux itself, we've tinkered around a little bit on the edges there. Zorin is one we've kind of installed on a few machines and have been pretty successful with it. It is so Windows-like that you kind of think you're operating Windows anyway. And it is Linux. It's just there are some little differences. That's especially as far as how it handles the drives, the disk drives. So if you're going to go find a drive D or a drive C, it's not going to be there. It's going to be a name instead of a device letter. The nice thing about Linux, it's free. Most of the distributions are absolutely free. There's a few of them actually want you to give you a free version, and if you want to go to a pro version, they'll charge you maybe $50. But most of the distributions are free. And the reason I just throw out there about Zorin or Mint is those are probably two of the real popular ones that we've used that are really good. There's over 650 different types of distributions out there in Linux, and I think there's over 1,000. But those are the ones that we've had a lot of success with. Just to throw it out there, if there's something you're interested in Linux, we can definitely have that conversation. We have a gentleman by the name of Alan Taylor who is definitely more Linux than experienced than I am, but he's more than willing to help us if somebody has an interest in trying Linux out. And the thing about Linux, I just throw out, there's almost nothing you can't do with it that you can do with Windows. The nice thing about Linux, I think, is it's not so AI heavy right now. It's AI light, let's put it that way. So it's like Windows kind of used to be. So if you want to browse the web, you use any web browser you want. You could use Edge, you could use Firefox, you could use Brave, you could use Chrome. They're all available in Linux. And let's say word processors and that sort of thing. You got LibreOffice you can use on there, OpenOffice. So there's a lot of software compatibility out there. Probably the biggest issue that they've had in the past was Linux wasn't very good for gaming, but they've overcome that, and I guess it's a pretty good gaming platform now too.
What does that term distros mean?
Distribution. So there's many different people out there working on different Linux flavors, if you will. So they have their own idea what the front end should look like and how it should operate. So it's just kind of their own interpretation of Linux and a Linux distribution. That's a distro. Short for distribution. The other alternatives, Apple iOS. I'm sorry, I'm not an Apple guy, so I really can't talk to that too much. I mean, Apple's a great product. The only thing is that to me, it's more limiting, and you're kind of stuck with their architecture and their infrastructure. There's two other ones out there I'll just throw out. Chrome OS. This is Google stuff. So a Chromebook, probably heard of that. It's kind of a lightweight laptop, if you will. And actually, they're pretty good. If you just want to go online and surf the web, there you go. That's a Chromebook. And if you want to surf the web and do that sort of stuff, it's a great device for doing that. It does support quite a bit of software, but it's all Google based. Chrome OS Flex. This is Google's free version that you can run on your standard PC hardware. So you can download Google Flex and run the same thing as you would on a straight Chromebook. And it works pretty good as far as I know. I've only done a little bit with the Chrome OS, and like I said, if you're into just surfing the web and that sort of thing, it works terrific. Already talked about this with the Linux operating systems. There is another option. Let's say if you don't want to give up your Windows 10 PC, but you're not ready to jump on the extended security update, which we'll talk about shortly. There's a third-party option. It's called Zero Patch. Zero Patch, what it is it actually patches, it micro patches the Windows 10 operating system to protect you. There's actually a free version of this, and what it protects you at that point are what are called zero-day attacks. That's the free version. And that's attacks that are just based on they think something is trying to get into your operating system that shouldn't be there. So it protects you against that sort of thing. It's not an actual patch itself. Those are extra. So the free version is just kind of a preventative, and the paid version is kind of a full-blown patch version for, let's say, Windows 10. It does what are called micro patches. Do you remember the CrowdStrike problem they had about what, year and a half ago or so? This CrowdStrike does the same thing. It micro patches the operating system, and that's where they got into trouble, is because it micro patches right down into the real center of the operating system. So it has to be real close to how the operating system operates. And in that case, it was a bad patch and stopped everything. But Zero Patch does the same thing. But if I was to stay on Windows 10, I'd probably go ahead and do this if I wasn't going to do the extended security updates. Just to have yourself just a little extra protection. If you're interested in the Zero Patch, like I said, there is a free version. You just go to www.zeropatch.com. You download their agent, and you have to log or create an account, a free account, and then download it, and I think then you're all set.
Sounds quick to me.
The Extended Security Update ESU program. This is something Microsoft started. They threatened they weren't going to do anything for anybody. They're just going to let Windows die and force you to buy a new PC or kind of deal with the aftermath. But they decided to actually provide a one-year program to supply the security updates. But there are some eligibility requirements. They've really kind of loosened this up quite a bit recently. The eligibility requirements, we're going to talk about that, about the pricing, and how to get enrolled in the ESU. Okay, what it is that basically it'll update Windows 10 for a year for any vulnerabilities with the Windows 10 operating system itself. Like I said, the Windows Defender system is going to be updated anyway. So this is really directly for the operating system itself. You have to be on the latest version of Windows 10, version 22H2 to qualify for this. Okay, the prerequisites, your device has to be running Windows 10 22H2 home professional pro educational workstation with all the latest updates installed. The big thing about this is you have to have a Microsoft account. They're gonna force you to have a Microsoft account to even consider being part of the ESU. And the device you have, you must be the administrator. And it's pretty easy to enroll in the ESU these days. They made it pretty easy. Initially, they said they weren't gonna have one, and then they came out and said, yeah, we're gonna support an extended security update, but it's gonna be $30. And that was it. Well, now they've changed it to where basically, not basically, but if you currently sync your PC to the cloud using OneDrive, then you automatically qualify for the ESU. So if you have a Microsoft account that you're automatically backing up using OneDrive to the cloud and clouds your settings, you're on the ESU. If you're not, like I'm right now, I'm not connected up through OneDrive, but I could redeem 1,000 Microsoft reward points. How many people know how many reward points they might have? Have you ever used Microsoft Edge or Microsoft Explorer before that? You probably have a lot of points that you don't realize you have. And all it is redeem 1,000 points and you get the ESU. The Microsoft points themselves, the easiest way to find it, I know. You can just go to your account if you look, or just search for Microsoft reward points. You'll find out that you probably have quite a few. I just popped on there the other day and I hadn't looked at them in years, and I ended up, I have like 36,000 points. So 1,000 points is almost nothing. It's like I said, I'll give you the update for a year.
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I really, you can redeem Microsoft points for gift cards. So you can redeem for Amazon gift cards, and I think they have all kinds of different restaurant gift cards you can redeem the points for, that sort of thing. So check it out. See if you have Microsoft reward points. The other possibility is if you don't have reward points and you don't back up your PC settings, you can actually purchase the ESU for $30 still. And once you do enroll in the ESU, then you're covered with your extended security update. Your Windows 10 operating system will be updated through October 13th of next year.
I mean, I think it's in the bites, how to find your points.
Oh, is it?
So they will put that up on the bites if they want to see it.
Okay, yeah, check out the bites. There'll be a link there, I guess. We put this up there, that right there where it says redeem 1,000 points, that's a link. You can actually click on that and it'll take you there.
All I use that computer for is taxes. So who cares? The other computer.
It's pretty easy to actually enroll in the ESU. If you go to settings, update security to the Windows update. If your device meets the prerequisites, you'll see a link to go ahead and enroll in the ESU. It's like I said, it just kind of walks you through it. It's pretty easy. Once you've selected to enroll, if you're not signed into your Microsoft account, it'll ask you to sign into it. Well, one thing about it, once you do decide to take advantage of the extended security update, you can update 10 devices. So if you have like 10 computers on the same Microsoft account, you can update all of those. So you only have to do this once to get it set up, and then you can update the rest of them. And once you go to the update, the settings, you'll see a little screen like this one pops up. And so it asks you the options. Do you want to back up your PC using the PC settings? Do you want to redeem reward points? And I think it walks you through that process there. Or if you want to pay for it, it'll allow you to do it there. But I can't imagine anybody buying it at this point. Okay, once you do enroll, how can you tell if you're enrolled? You can actually go to settings, update security, Windows update, and it'll actually tell you that you're enrolled at the ESU at that point. As far as the best solution, right now, if I was on Windows 10, I'd definitely take advantage of the extended security updates. The zero patch, I think, is an option, but I would probably, like I said, it's so easy to do the ESU updates right now. And this is what I read. Once you do enroll in the ESU, let's say if you back up your computer, your settings to the cloud, you can stop that. You can actually stop updating your PC settings or your backup to the cloud, and your extended updates are still going to continue for the year. So I heard of people actually switching on their OneDrive, doing a quick update on the PC settings, and then turning the OneDrive off, and then the ESU stays on. So that's kind of the way I would probably do it if I didn't want to use OneDrive and I still want the ESU. The other solutions, like I said, you can use another operating system. Linux is, like I said, a really cool operating system. Like I said, it's kind of a back to basics. It works really nice. And if it's something you consider, I'll talk to you about it, or get a hold of Alan Taylor and we can talk about it. But as a group right now, I don't think we're going to pull through to the support of the Linux, but individually, we definitely would do it. The other one's the Chrome OS. The Chrome OS is a great operating system. It's just for Google based, Google Flex. If you got a PC, you want to try that out. It's free also, and it basically you just load up a flash drive with it and put it on the system, just like you would Linux. If you need a hand with that, if it's something you're interested in, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help you set up a flash drive to do that. But right now, I think the best and obvious implementation as far as navigating Windows 10 is just get the ESU for 1,000 reward points, or just backing up, setting up your PC to back up to the cloud. It's kind of a no-brainer. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about the Windows 10. Like I said, it's coming up pretty quick. Like I said, the obvious one is to do the ESU and get the support for a year. After a year, who knows? Microsoft might just say, we'll do another. Who knows? We'll see then. Let's see. The other thing was, just wanted to talk about Windows updates on Windows 11, just real briefly. Been a lot of issues with Windows 11 updates here lately. Has anybody run into the fact that in the middle of an update, it gets to about 90% and stops? That's happened to me. I also was doing a Windows update with Windows 11, and all of a sudden, all the little icons on the taskbar disappeared, went away. And that was a good one, because all of a sudden, I just left the laptop alone for a week, then another update a week later that fixed it. So they knew it was an issue. It was just a matter of, and the rest of it operated just fine. But there are some hiccups with Windows 11. So you might want to consider when you go to Windows Update and through the system settings, put it on pause for a couple of weeks, and then wait for a couple of weeks and do the update. Or you might want to consider just pausing until October when they do the big update on the 25H2 update and turn it back on then. Because it'll operate just fine, just until then. Any particular questions on the Windows 10 ESU program or update?
Well, I'd have that,
updated automatically. It never, always worked well.
Almost always does. All of a sudden, Windows 11 started having all kinds of issues here lately. Yeah, I mean, I usually do too. I just update whenever I can. And I was on the Windows preview program for a while. And I found that wasn't a good idea. They put out some stuff that isn't great, to tell you the truth. So it's actually better to wait until they get a stable update. But usually their updates are pretty good. But like I said, it seems like the last, I'd say 2 months, there's been some real issues with the Windows updates. Any other questions? No, like I said, and we'd be more than happy if you need some help, get that updated or with the ESU program or whatever. Let us know or bring it on in and we'll see what we can do. Okay, the next thing up, I think, is our drawings.
Going off. And the lucky person will get $29. That'll be your white ticket.
White ticket.
I know, I only got.
Last three numbers, 8, 4, 5. What is the 8, 4, 5? No.
Hey, Ron.
Lydia, do you want to take a picture and get the information? Okay, super.
There you go, Jane.
There you go, 845, my dear.
You made all the money.
Costly.
I told you, I told you we're gonna.
Problems, Brian.
Okay, so this is for the
Take a
$25
picture and
first
smile.
prize ticket.
Quit picking your nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get a good one there.
Last three numbers are 8, 3, 5.
0.
835. Our winner, yay!
Thanks for sharing the information about that. I didn't even know about that.
Okay, guys.
I wish you.
Well, thank you guys very much. The next time we'll probably get together, it's gonna be in October. Like I said, in the meantime, consider becoming the nominating committee chair. We only need one, but it would be a tremendous help to us. We're getting through the election process for the next year. And also consider being a board member. Always looking for a good board. Well, thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time.